Welcome to another edition of Stack Your Points. As always, I'm Matt from the Matt Clausen YouTube channel, and let me tell you guys, I am burnt after yesterday. Fun fact, do not record 7 videos in a day. It's usually a bad idea. But I will say this, when my Amex wishlist drops, the first 30 seconds of that I think are worth watching for sure. And the opening of my US Bank wishlist video, I think will also be worth it. So I'll just tease those. But yeah, I'm pretty burnt out. We're joined as always by RJ. RJ, how are you doing today?
You know what, Matt? I'm doing well. I got to go on a lovely vacation to San Diego. We'll talk later about how that vacation came to be because it was not my planned destination, but we'll have a little chat about that. But I was in lovely San Diego, 80-degree weather. I got to see lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. I'm rejuvenated. I work this week and then I have next week off for Christmas, so I'm looking forward to that. And I am about to use my IHG ambassador weekend certificate this coming weekend in Boston, which is a very lovely IHG from all of the things I have found online.
There you go. Sounds like fun all around. That's awesome. Lonnie and Craig are on assignment at the moment. Lonnie may or may not join us. We don't know yet, but if he does, great. If not, we'll continue forward. Do we want to start with this question first? What? I guess we can. So our first question comes from Keith, who asks, what the hell happened to Mesa? Did Tariq get a Mesa card last week? He was looking to see their program grow. They had some unique transfer partners and a very interesting credit card offering. What do you think the fallout will be to cardholders' points earned not fully redeemed, and will it be a warning to other issuers going into the mortgage space? RJ, are you aware of the Mesa hoopla that happened?
So I've been in and out of the chat today. I was out for 2 weeks at work, so I got hit by the Outlook fairy when I got into work today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had over 200 emails waiting for me to take a look at when I got into work today.
I've been asked to hit 3, but yep.
So it became this thing of, oh, I need to put Discord down for the day. And I've been on vacation, so I haven't super been active. I know Mesa went bye-bye, and I know the cards got axed immediately. It was as if the French Revolution happened, but for credit cards. So if you could explain it to me and to our listeners who may not be aware, I would appreciate that.
Absolutely. And thank you for that French Revolution image. Now I have oversimplified's bit of Robespierre just lobbing people's heads off, just playing in my head now. That's great.
There you go.
Sorry. So here's what happened. Friday afternoon, close to Friday evening, right around 6 or 7 o'clock at night, I first found out about this through Facebook of all things, and not through Facebook sources that you would think, because I found out about it through the Rove Insider's Facebook, because a screenshot went up of...
As you do.
As I do, right? A screenshot went up, and the director of marketing and travel at Rove was just like, oh, so I guess we're the only game in town now for Air India, with a screenshot showing the bit from Mesa that said, as of December 12th, your Mesa card is no longer active. Your points are basically gone. And we are sorry that we have made the decision to shut down Mesa. I nearly said Rove, and that was bad. A standard Rove disclaimer, I get a stipend of points for moderating one of their Facebook groups. Anyway, so I went digging in on this because I'm like, what? No, it's Friday night. News isn't supposed to happen right now. I'm not near any recording devices. So I dug in, and they sent out an email to all of their users that they were effectively shutting down right then and there. And there's been no further word yet on what the background of what caused this is. Now, Mesa was a fintech startup that was the value proposition for Mesa was giving you points on your mortgage, and they also had the Mesa Homeowner Rewards credit card. They gave you a number of credits for things like the Farmer's Dog and a Costco membership and Lowe's. And earlier this year, they had other memberships for wholesale clubs like BJ's and Sam's Club. Those got shut down relatively early. Gee, I wonder why. But this was no annual fee card. It was giving you all of these credits. There was a thumbtack credit for home improvement stuff. I want to say there was one other big credit on the card, but it gave you like 2 times earnings on gas and grocery and stuff like that, 3 times earnings on home stuff, and 1x on your mortgage. Now, you didn't have to pay your mortgage with the credit card, but you did have to provide Mesa proof of your mortgage payment, but you didn't have to link your bank to Mesa. All you had to do was just show them proof. And this was a company that was, I'm sure, very reliant on VC money, venture capital money. The card was powered by High Note, which is an avenue I have to look down, and issued by Celtic Bank. Celtic Bank earlier this year had some issues with a Ponzi scheme, so I don't know how much that played into things yet, but they effectively just shut the program down Friday night at 5:00 at the close of business. Folks were left scrambling to try and figure out what to do with their points because there was no immediate, hey, for the next 30 days, you can use your points for statement credit. They shut off transfer partners pretty instantly. Over the weekend, folks were MacGyvering ways to get their points transferred to transfer partners and things like that. This was a sudden collapse of the program. The cards were shut down pretty much overnight. It seems like they have shut the lights off. They have walked out the door. They have given you very little recourse. Like, if there's any sort of legal ramifications with this, and terms and conditions in these situations are probably still going to favor Mesa more than the customer, because did you read your terms and conditions? I bet you didn't. Did you run your terms and conditions through an LLM and say, hey, explain this to me like I'm 5? I bet you didn't. Now, there are supposed to be things like in New York, if your credit cards are like, if your credit card is shut down by the bank, you still have 90 days to get your points out per New York state law. Some states will also give you like a 30-day reprieve. New York is like really customer focused on that one, which is weird because virtually everything else with customers, New York doesn't really care as much. So folks have been left with very little recourse. And if you think that the company still exists to go after in some sort of class action lawsuit, let me sell you a bridge. Because they may still have a website up, but I'm going to guarantee you there's nothing there. There are no assets. There's nothing to go after. And I'm sure that the terms and conditions would push like arbitration as a means of resolving disputes. Good luck finding anybody, I think. I'm pretty sure this was like they just shut the lights off and ran. So what do you think the fallout for cardholders is going to be? The expectation is that you are still to pay your final bill. That'll be fun. Now, again, just because Mesa has gone away does not mean that Celtic Bank has gone away. So Celtic Bank is the one who still like handles your bill. So you're still going to have to pay your balance. Folks redeem for statement credit at 0.6 cents per point. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be an absolute mess. Cardholders are going to be left with their points. If you were able to redeem whatever you could redeem for 0.6 cents per point, great. As I said, there are folks MacGyvering their way into transferring their points out to transfer partners like Air Canada or Accor. And if you weren't caught holding the bag on that one, great. Some folks have lost hundreds of thousands of points. I saw on Dugrouse's live over the weekend that there's some person out there who had like 2.4 million points in a program that only existed for about 10 months. But they were all secured legitimately above board. For sure. It was all referrals. I don't believe it, but that's just me. Yeah, so folks are going to be left high and dry. If you've been left high and dry, I don't know what else there is for you at the moment. And I'm sorry to hear that you may have been left high and dry. Will this be a warning to other issuers going into the mortgage space? Yes and no. Yes, in that mortgage is going to be really hard to earn points. Mesa was doing an honor system and requiring $1,000 and spend a month through the card. All you had to do was show proof of your mortgage and that you spent the $1,000 through the card. Made is a new card that launched in the last couple of weeks. They are taking more of a cash back approach on your mortgage. So you will earn you're not earning a full 1% on your mortgage, but what you are able to do is you can get X number of points up to the total of your mortgage payment. So if you have a $2,000 mortgage, you can get an extra 2,000 points. Maybe that will be more sustainable. They also don't have travel partners. They're only doing things like gift cards at 0.7 cents per point and statement credits at 0.6 or 0.5 cents per point. So they're going to take a long, slow trudging path. And I think you have to connect through Plaid to prove that your mortgage is getting paid. Don't 100% remember. It's been a little while since I covered Made. Now, the big question here is obviously going to be Built, one of our favorite companies to talk about here on the pod. One of your favorite companies, RJ, for sure. Yeah. This Built has not indicated how they're going to verify mortgage points. It has indicated anything in regards to like how mortgage is going to work. They are set to do the card announcements in January, and I have to believe that mortgage will be part of it, but I also have to believe that there was a huge strategy meeting that got called first thing this morning. I don't know that this is going to scare, say, the Wells Fargos or the Chases or American Expresses of the world from potentially doing mortgage in the future. I just don't think that's a category that Wells or Amex or Chase wants to touch in the immediate term. I do think that if you are a bank that does also underwrite and service mortgages, giving your cardholders points for that mortgage would be good. But I think they're going to do it in a very specialized way and maybe finance those points through mortgage interest or something like that. And I don't know how that would work necessarily. I do think it's a warning to fintechs and startups who are going to try and get into this. Like Built makes money other ways. Built might be able to make this work, but they're going to have to subsidize mortgage by way of their rent flywheel and have another avenue to generate money with either UWM or Venmo or some other partner to subsidize the mortgage points. And they have to do this kind of on their own because they don't have Wells Fargo subsidizing rent the way that Wells Fargo was subsidizing rent for them before the split.
Yeah.
That is what I know of Mesa for now. This is probably going to become a bigger story. I don't know if this is going to be Sonder level, sort of like a Sonder level story. I don't know what the finances were looking like. The fact that Celtic was involved in some sort of Ponzi scheme or potentially underwriting a Ponzi scheme is not going to look particularly good. I don't know if this is the investors ran out of money or Mesa blew through everything because they were awarding points in a haphazard way and there was no controls on everything. I don't know if this was synthetic whales. And for those watching, whales are big spenders. Synthetic whales are, well, big spenders on paper. So we will have to see what happens going forward with Mesa. But yeah, the sudden collapse of Mesa was a huge shock to the system, to the points of miles community, not necessarily the system overnight. And folks are going to mention that this is a reason number billion to earn and burn your points. Like as soon as you get them, especially if you're in a fintech that you may or may not trust, Built is slowly getting to a place where they're at like year 5 of existence, right? They've been around for 5 years. You can start to trust that they're going to exist next year. Rove has only just started. Made has only just started. Mesa lasted less than a year as a program, apparently. So, like, the adage is going to be get your points out as quickly as possible. So, we shall see.
Amex will be here next year. Chase will be here next year. I don't know if we can say Built is going to be here next year, right? Do I think there's do I think there's greater than a 50% chance? Yes. Do I think it's a 90% chance? No. I think that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
Chase is not going any, like, we literally saw the financial system of the United States collapse, and Chase is, hi, we're fine. Chase and Amex and all of those will be here. Here's what I'll say.
Collapse back then. I said a couple other banks should have collapsed back then.
Well, yeah, but here's what I'll say about Mesa. I think that it is the credit card space. If you're not a credit card person, the credit card space seems great, right? People use their product, they spend money, you get a cut of it, you hand out some points, everybody's happy. And then you have somebody with 2.4 million points in their account because you don't know what manufacturer spend is, or you don't know what all of these other things are. That was Built's problem before too, right? Like, companies who don't understand, and US Bank has run into this, right? With Smartly. Companies that don't understand how people use credit cards, who are really into credit cards, are the problem. It is not using mortgages. It is not creative categories. It is, you don't understand the stream you are walking into. And it's like one of those little streams in England that has the caves. So, like, you get sucked under and you get put in a cave and your body's not coming out for 800 years. That's what they're dealing with. And I think that is the problem, not necessarily that they're doing something super creative. It's that they're not understanding what they're walking into, and then they're just getting hammered by people who know exactly how to exploit their system.
Yep. These are folks, the banks are trying to ford the river and they forgot to chalk the wagon.
Yeah. And I think, do I think that if Amex or Chase or Wells Fargo or Cap One did something like this card, it would have worked? Probably. And when I say Wells Fargo directly, not Wells Fargo partnering with Mesa, right? Like, I'm not talking a Built situation. I'm talking a company puts out a credit card, right? Do I think it would? I think it probably could have, right? Wells Fargo writes a lot of mortgages. They could put out a mortgage card where if your mortgage is with Wells Fargo, you earn 1 point for every $2 you spend on your mortgage or something, right? Like, it's not going to be 1-to-1, but they could put out something to where you're earning 1, 2, 3,000 points a month. That's what, less than 40,000 points a year typically. Like, it would be fine, right? That's a half a sub in some ecosystems. So I think they would be fine with it. I just think credit card companies who have been around for 100 years are like, yeah, you guys figure it out. We'll come in once you have figured it out, so we don't have to do all of the market research.
So they're just going full Apple on that one.
Hey, strategy works. Apple's evaluation's like, what, 3 trillion?
Something like that.
They know exactly what they're doing. When the folding phone comes out next year, it is not going to have Samsung Gen 1 issues. Like, it's just not. So there are benefits to moving first, and there are benefits to moving after. Both of them can get you huge rewards. It depends on what you're looking for. Mesa tried something. I give them credit for trying something. They forgot that Reddit exists, and you can literally go watch how people break credit cards in real time. Like, literally every credit card company should just have a department that is online looking at how people are breaking credit cards. That would be the fourth hire if I were to start a credit card company. It's just the people looking at Reddit and forums for how people are breaking this.
Do you know how much I would love to have that job?
That job would be so perfect for you. But you wouldn't be able to engage. You would just have to hate watch. Also, hello, Lonnie. Welcome. We're talking
Where the
question
hell do I
one.
sign?
What's
And
up?
Hey, Lonnie, sorry about that. We've let you in 5 minutes ago, and sorry we didn't let you get a word in at all. We were talking about the Mesa collapse that happened on Friday.
Not an issue. No, well, not an issue. Let me in. I'm late. Dad duties, dad priorities. That's
Also
all.
not
That's
an
all
issue
the
for
just. Yeah, that's all the justification that takes. I don't care what y'all, what anyone watching thinks. Dad
No.
priorities. My 2 cents on the Mesa thing. Well, I think RJ summed it up best in her last line there. They tried. You got to give them credit for trying. First off, I'm sure I've never launched a credit card. I'm sure it's not easy. No other credit card except for maybe with the asterisk built has even attempted mortgages, depending on the timeline, the time frame that you're looking at. They came out and tried, and no matter what ended up happening and why it came to the decision that it did not end up working out. That just goes to show you how hard one, coming out for credit card is, two, creating an ecosystem around a single bonus category could possibly be. And also, I'm going to go ahead and selfishly and humbly end with, this is why I take everything that you read and listen to on credit card YouTube, including myself, with a grain of salt, because when it came out, I can go pull videos that were, yo, Built's cooked. This is over. Mace is coming out. This is the best thing ever. And you know what? Guess what? Guess who's not here today? And now, where are those videos at that said I was wrong? I am sorry for telling y'all to go get this card. Not on my channel, but I'm not calling any creators out. I'm just saying, take everything with a grain of salt and do your own research before committing. Don't just take our word for it. We are not financial advisors. We are people on the internet. That is it. The only requirement is a record button and Wi-Fi for us to be creators. So take everything that we say as creators with a grain of salt. That's all I'm saying.
And now we have the YouTube Create app on our phones. I downloaded that today.
I got a couple of things I can say about that. Not gonna.
Oh. Yeah, so I think that kind of covers Mesa pretty well. Also, Lonnie, besides dad duty, which obviously important, I totally get it. How are you today, man?
Oh, man, how am I today? Today's been a busy day. As with most people in this country at the moment, with work probably getting super duper hectic before it shuts down for the holiday. So it's been one heck of a day. And I started off with fraud on one of my cards this morning, which is, that wasn't on my bingo card for Monday. Got it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to call Capital One today. Oops.
Yeah, got it taken care of. My new card will be here by Wednesday, they said, which is fine. But yeah, when you're on the freeway dropping your son off at school doing, all right, I'm doing the legal limit. I'm going to say I was doing 65.
Sure.
And I get the little ping, which I don't check my phone while driving. I'm a huge advocate of don't touch your phone while driving, but I have all the systems in my car and I can actually see my watch from the steering wheel. And it says, I just had a charge from Amex. And I'm like, there's no way I just had a charge from Amex. And that's how my day started. But we got it taken care of. Amex is on my side. They knew it wasn't me. They knew I wasn't shopping at some makeup store. Yeah. Fraud.
Yeah, I think Capital One is currently subject to a bin attack because last week I got a text message from that was like the Capital One account and was like, hey, did you make this $20 purchase at Microsoft? No, I did not. Okay, cool. We're going to shut down this card. We're going to send you a brand new card. Don't worry about it. Card should be, and like I got follow-up emails from Capital One. Your card should arrive in a couple of days. Thank you so much. Got another text message first thing this morning with the last 4 of the card I haven't received yet. Hey, did you spend $19.99 at Microsoft? No, I did not. Then I went back into the app and realized that the $19.99 from last week posted. So I have to call Capital One in the morning.
Yeah, that reminds me when I first got my Built card. Like I had it for maybe 2 weeks and they're like, hey, bunch of people getting hit with fraud. We're going to send you a new card. I'm like, you don't need to. I haven't gotten hit with fraud. They're like, yeah, we're going to send it to you anyway. So they replaced my card, sent me a whole new number. When my card arrived, it got hit with fraud. So if you just waited, you only would have had to send me one card. So now I think I have 3 or 4 different built cards sitting in the sock drawer. I'm pretty sure I can need to send back one of those envelopes that Amex always sends, but 'tis the season. So people, check your statements, check your stuff, because the bad actors out there know that the majority of people don't actually check their statements on a regular basis, if not even monthly. Hiding a test charge of $19.99 or $15 is actually really easy because you're not going to look at it. And versus if they tried to charge $600, you'd be like, I didn't spend $600, but there's a good chance that most of your transactions are probably sub $20. So make sure. I myself, not to go off on a tangent, RJ, last point, I have all my transactions for all the cards that are in my digital wallet, as I mentioned, show up as a notification on my phone whenever I use them. So if I ever see a notification from a car charge that I'm not aware of, at least I can get on top of it quickly. And sometimes it even calls me. I even catch myself, like when my cell phone bill comes and it's just, I'm like, wait a sec, I didn't spend nothing today. And I got to remember, today's YouTube TV day. Today is cell phone bill day.
Yep. So thanks, Keith, for that first question. Lonnie, you feel like answering a question about Disney?
Let's do it.
All right, this coming from AP. AP asked mostly a Lonnie question, but please all chime in. I'm going to bow out. What is your
I don't
favorite?
see it on the list though, but I think I know what it is. I saw it in the Discord, but keep it going.
What is your favorite Disney property? Why? Any tips or tricks like buying DVC points, that's Disney Vacation Club, or what have you? How does Aulani compare to the theme parks? I know they are different animals, but they compete in entertainment. And this was coming from AP.
Yeah. So ironically enough, I love the way that he phrased this because Aulani is actually my favorite Disney property. Now, I will say my favorite Disney property that I have visited, I have not visited like Shanghai, Hong Kong, Tokyo, Paris, any of those. I think that's all of them. Might be all of them. Anyway, and the reason why is Aulani is just chill. Now, Aulani is in Hawaii, y'all, and I basically go there almost every single year. We took my wife there one year as the baby moon or whatnot, and she's been in love with it ever since. And we've been going as a family. That's our family vacation spot every year ever since, which doesn't really say much because my son's only 3 years old. But still, it's not a park. There is no park or anything like that. They do have a water park, a really great splash pad water park, and a beach in Ko'olina that's in like right behind the resort, so you don't have to walk anywhere. But it's just chill. It's great. You get the Disney theme in, but you also get like the resort vibe. And then of course, especially like when it comes to my son, the characters. We love the characters, but have you ever been to Orlando and you can't go see characters without them getting swarmed and lines for an hour long or whatnot. At Aulani, no, they just walk around. You can just walk around. It's casual. People don't swarm them. Like I remember one year, Goofy jumped in the pool, literally in the full suit and everything, jumped into the pool. I thought that was pretty. That's that little Disney magic. I'm like, I hope that person's okay. Like they can breathe in there. But yeah, it's that type of stuff. And then it's also very cultural. I have talked about my types of vacations, that I am a culture fiend, that I love to be where the natives are. They do a absolute bang up job of the Hawaiian culture, the Hawaiian local, the actual authentic culture and vibe of the island, and then all the history of the island. They do all of it throughout the resort. Everything has a meaning. You can just walk around and be like, ask people questions, and they'll actually break out like, oh, this is like Maui, and this is why these are shaped this way, and this is shaped that way. And like I said, we've been there at least 3, maybe even 4 times. I think we went twice one year. because it's not just the resort, it's also our favorite place to stay in Hawaii just because of the location as well, period. But it's just banged up. It's awesome. If you just try it out, it's, like I said, it's not a theme park whatsoever, so it's a completely different vibe. It's also not all inclusive. You do have to pay a la carte for, it's Disney, basically everything. Now, let me go back to the question. So that's my favorite Disney property. Now, if I'm not talking about Aulani, if we're talking about the parks, Disneyland, I actually don't stay when I choose to go to Disneyland. We actually don't stay on property. We just stay at one of the neighboring hotels. Usually it is a Marriott, the Westin, or the JW, which I was just at over the Thanksgiving weekend. The reason why is, of course, it's Marriott, so I can use all my Marriott stats points, and you can literally walk to the park. It's in walking distance. It takes you like 5-10 minutes, and you can just walk there, depending on how fast you can walk. So that one is great. And then in Orlando, I like the Wilderness Lodge the best. So those are my favorite properties around there. But even in Orlando, you can do the same thing. You can stay somewhere else. You can stay at a Marriott property. Swan Dolphin and Swan Reserve are all Marriott. They are on Disney property. You can take buses. You can walk to park. I think it's Hollywood and Epcot from all three of those. So it's just pick your poison, if you will. Any tips, tricks on buying DVC points or what have you? Yeah, so if you go check the Discord, I actually responded to this and I dropped the link in there. Usually when we stay on property, so either at Aulani or at Wilderness Lodge in Orlando, we do David's DVC rental, not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. It's just who we go through. They're really good. There are some pros and cons. Pros, it's like 40 to 60% off when you rent DVC points. There's a couple of different DVC brokers, like DVC Rental Store does them too. But anyway, you get a better deal by renting DVC points. So that's a pro. Negative, the cons, you usually have to pay upfront. So if you're not willing to pay $5,000 for your 2-bedroom whatever, and I'm just throwing a number out there right now, that's not the actual cost, I'm just throwing a number out there. If you're not willing to pay $5,000 for your entire vacation, you might want to like either save up, plan it, or take a step back because they want their money up front. The people that are renting those DVC points are losing that money immediately. So of course they want to be recouped immediately. So the DVC brokers basically have to pay in full and up front. But David's DVC rental counts as a travel agency. So if you time it, use your Bilt card on the first of the month and get that 6x on that very large purchase, which was great before the nerf, but it's still a travel. So use whatever travel card and you'll get travel points. Can't use your CSR anymore, blah. But yeah, because it's not a hotel, it's a travel agency. Let's see. What else did I miss? How does Aulani compare to the theme parks? I already answered that. Yeah, hopefully that worked. Hopefully that checked off all those boxes. Now I'm looking at the whole question.
I think that's it. Thanks, Lonnie. Thanks, AP, for that. Lonnie, sorry to throw you under the bus that quickly on that one.
No. I'm cool with it. I know how to book a Disney vacation. Look, I've said this before, and it's actually, I believe it was Wall Street Journal or New York Times. I forget which one. But they literally put out an article within the last week, over this last weekend, that said that one reiterated how a Orlando vacation is literally one of the most expensive vacations in the world. So if you're in the points and miles, I don't care if you are a Disney person or not, you should at least understand, how can I get Disney for absolutely cheap on points and miles? Just to have that particular knowledge. That's why we're in the game. Get expensive vacations without having to take extra money out of our bank account. But the article actually stated, and they built the article around, it's actually cheaper to fly to Tokyo, go to Disney Tokyo, and fly back to the US than it is to actually just go to Orlando for a Disney World vacation. That's exactly how expensive it is. But the point that I'm trying to make is, with all this knowledge of points and miles that we have, like I said, I don't care where you're going. Chances are you're trying to go, not to shout out John R in a negative way, but he likes to go to Iceland. I have absolutely no intention of ever going to Iceland. But we are two different people with two different tastes and two different destinations in which we like to call a vacation, but we both know how to book each other's vacation with points and miles. So I'm just saying, having the knowledge of being able to do it, and us as creators, especially myself, someone might actually ask me, hey, I'm trying to go to Bangalore. What's the best way to do it? I can't just always say United. I actually have to be able to stretch that muscle of, if I'm not flying my plan A's, how do I get to my plan B's?
There you go. All right. So thanks, AP. Thanks, Lonnie. Our next question.
I guess I'm coming in hot tonight.
No, I don't have anything else to add to that. A Disney vacation sounds like my personal hell, so I'm going to let you go in my place.
Wait till you have kids.
I'm never having them. There is sun and there is people. No.
There's still a list of places around the world that I would love to go to. And we're slowly getting back to it, but then it's not stroller friendly. Venice is full of water and it's sinking. What else? Yeah, a toddler can't walk 10 miles in a day. So you got to pick your battles, and it was easy for Disney to make a comeback for my family and I. And now my son, I think I said it last week, my son finally hit the next height requirement. He's a roller coaster junkie, just like I'm a roller coaster junkie, which I absolutely love, like father, like son. But he hit the 40-inch mark, so it opened a completely different set of rides.
A whole new set of air.
A whole new set of stuff. So now I get to revisit the whole Disney stuff through his eyes now, and it completely changed my perspective. I think it's like the Disney way. Like, you grow up in it, you take a step back for 20 years, and then you have a family, and then you come back to it, and like all those memories and seeing kids thinking that's really Mickey up there. Man, it just changes everything.
New achievement unlocked. I was listening to the Miles to Memories podcast, or I think that's MTM, and one of the co-hosts recently went to Epcot and did Drink Around the World at Epcot. $400.
That's a bad idea.
$400.
I don't think anyone has ever made it all the way around sober, ever.
Well, if you're choosing to do it sober, that's one thing. If you're like there, if you're there babysitting someone who's doing Drink Around the World, then you might be able to get through it sober. But like, you're talking like $25 cocktails minimum. Pass.
Look, I don't even drink alcohol, as y'all know. I basically drink water and tea. Water bottles cost like $5-6, and they're Dasani.
Yeah. This is a money pit. Anyway, let's go to our next question. Our next question comes from Diamond Rice, who asks, what is your best flight or hotel stay that you had in 2025? Most of my better hotel stays over the course of the year were just like ones where I quickly booked a night and just to let my kid play in a pool for an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time. Those were always fun. And I recently did a Holiday Inn on Long Island the night before going to an Islander game. That was also a really nice one. Nothing like fancy at the hotel or anything crazy like that. It was just a nice getaway from everything. Lonnie, do you have a particularly good flight or hotel stay for this year?
I am actually going to my Google Drive, my travel folder, to see all the trips we take so I can remember which one is what. Westin. There was a Westin that we stayed in that was ridiculously great. Does cruise ship count? Because Star of the Seas was ridiculously amazing.
Yeah, why not?
Not necessarily a hotel, but it is it's an all-in-one vacation. It's your hotel and your entertainment.
It's a hotel on the water.
It's a hotel on the water. It's a floating city. It's the world's largest cruise ship at the moment.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to stop right there. We're going to say those two. There was a Westin that I got super, and it wasn't the hotel itself. It was this service It was one of those. I booked the room in the basement that faces the alley and the garbage can, and because of status, I ended up on the very top floor with the big 1 bedrooms and all that stuff. So it was the service on that one, but other than that, just they did a bang up job. Royal Caribbean did a bang up job with Star of the Seas. That was a lot of fun. That was a fun week.
There we go. RJ, sorry about that. Your best flight or hotel?
I'm going to punt on the flight for a couple of reasons. Hotel, I just got back from the Hilton San Diego Bayside, and it was delightful. I got an upgrade to a suite. It was stupidly large. Lonnie would have loved it. I did not. It was a room with a room in it. There was a full dining table. I watched a TV between 2 very large windows that looked out onto the bay. And there was a park right by me. So there was like the strobe lights from, I'm assuming, some music that was happening. It was lovely. Would I book that for myself normally? No. Was it nice? Yeah, it was nice. But yeah, no, I had a lovely time. It's very close to everything. So yeah, I would say that. I got some takeout, got some relaxing. After the few days I had prior to the trip to San Diego, it was nice to be in a place that was well appointed and everything worked the way it should. Though I did get hit up for my first Hilton vacation. The guy came over, "You're a Hilton Honors member, right?" And I'm like, "Yes." "Well, guess what? We're going to talk about this thing. You're going to go. They're going to tell you all about this timeshare. You're going to turn them down." And I'm like, I love that your first thing is to tell me that I'm going to pay you to go on a vacation. I'm going to turn something down so I can get a bunch of points. I do appreciate the honesty. No, but I appreciate the honesty. So I had a very good time there.
There you go. All right. Cool. Well, thanks, Diamond Race. Yeah, sorry I haven't done too many flights this year. I'm busy. Arnally asks, what are the top 3 good or positive changes that occurred in the credit card space this year? And that's going to be a hard question.
I'm bowing out. Don't even come to me. I don't think I can answer this question in 30 minutes or less. So
good or positive, or are you thinking of the negatives that happened this year? Quite a few negatives. Good, positive changes. There's the built Rakuten connection.
I was thinking good, negative, not good, positive. Okay.
No.
All right.
Good, positive.
Right. Yeah, I'll give Rakuten built one. I get a
built Rakuten partnership for sure. Nice.
I genuinely do think that the Platinum refresh is a good positive change for the card in general.
I was going to say that as well. I would also add the Purple Quest United card.
Yep.
There we go.
It's a pretty card too. Like, I love that both the Delta and the United for their second card, or for their cards, they both have the purple. They're nice shades of purple too.
Which also got hit up for fraud a couple of weeks ago. So I got 2 of them sitting back here now. Check your statements, people. 'Tis the season.
Yep.
Yeah. So there you go. Built Rakuten, the Platinum refresh, and the United Quest refresh. I do think, well, we have to see what the rest of the rest of the Blue Sky looks like for United and JetBlue. I think that's going to be a good play. We just have to see what the rest of it looks like. Yeah. So our next question comes from Kirby G, who asks, everyone hates credits, but what small credits do you enjoy using? Not talking about the Sapphire Reserve $300 travel credit as an example, more like the $10 Grubhub credit. RJ, what small credits do you enjoy using?
So I'm going to go with 2 because I'm not sure the first one counts. So I have a backup. My answer would probably be the Walmart Plus credit on my Platinum card, but it's a credit to a subscription. So I don't know. My other answer would be the entertainment credit, which is just a straight up credit on my Platinum card, because you literally don't have to do anything. You just set that as your payment card and it handles the rest. I think that probably is the easiest to use credit. Like, just from you set it as your payment, you do not think about it. It's $25. Which means that when Disney upped their prices, I was paying more than I was before, but I was not paying as much as I could be. Which is good because I need the ESPN for all of the sports I watch. So that was helpful for me. But yeah, those two in particular, because they're just credits on the card. I don't have to go to a Resi restaurant. I don't have to use Lyft. I don't have to use Grubhub. I just set it as my payment. I don't have to do anything special. Those are my favorite.
All right. Lonnie.
RJ stole one of my answers, the Walmart Plus credit that you get included with your Amex Platinum, which also gives you your Paramount Plus or your Peacock. I'm a Paramount Plus person. So it's a credit on a credit or a benefit on a benefit, whatever. It's a stack on a stack, whatever you want to call it. Going with Kirby's Grubhub credit, I'm actually going to say the Uber credit that I gets combined between my gold and my platinum for Uber Eats, because to use that credit, all you have to do is use an American Express card. So I can use it's December, so I got $40 or $45 here in December. But I also have a Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant that has $25 on it. So I actually can go get a $65 meal from Uber Eats, and it's all credited across all three of those cards because of that. So just because it came from your platinum or your gold doesn't mean you have to pay with your platinum or your gold. You just have to pay with an American Express card, people. A lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people don't talk about it. Maybe I'll put it in an upcoming video. Anyway, any travel bank credit that I can use, or any credit I can use for United Travel Bank or just direct travel bank credit. So Platinum, Hilton Aspire, but then I also have the IHG Premier. Yes, it's only $50 a year, but they don't go to waste. Believe it or not, I used to waste the Resi credit before I would waste a $25 credit from an IHG Premier card. But yeah, those are incredibly, no pun intended, helpful for me. So those are three. I would also add the Dunkin' Donuts credit, except for I don't really like Dunkin' Donuts or ever go there, but I get my $7 a month, and I have over $100 in Dunkin' Donuts credit on my account right now. But when we are traveling, airport or not airport, and my son wants a donut with chocolate icing and sprinkles on it, that credit comes in clutch every single time. Dude, go nuts. How many do you want? You can have the whole 6-pack for all I care.
Do you go to Baskin Robbins?
No.
Oh, because it works there too.
Good to know. I do have some that are within driving distance, not too far, but Baskin Robbins doesn't work with visceral fat too well. So yeah, one had to go, which means they both had to go.
Fair enough. Just throwing that out there as a possibility. That's all. All right. Thanks, Kirby. Oh, small credits. My small credits are annoying me right now. Saving $10 on what's becoming like a $60 grocery order for 8 things. And this is regardless of whether or not it's through DoorDash or just walking into a grocery store. Like, grocery stores just offend me right now. Prices at grocery stores offend me right now. Because 8 things should not be $65. It's stupid. So I can't hold that against the credit, though. But usually using those for tip is not the worst thing in the world, because those drivers got stuff they got to do. Thanks, Kirby. Our last question comes from Thick Boy, who asks, is it just me, or does it seem like Citi just copied the Chase Freedom Unlimited with the Citi Strata Elite, with better portal earnings for the earning structure? That being said, do you feel like this is what makes the card a hit or miss for most? So the Citi Strata Elite, $595 annual fee, 1.5 times base earning points, 3 times base earning, 3 times dining credit, 3 times dining points, 6 times dining points on Friday and Saturday night, 6 times points on flights in the city travel portal, and 12 times points on rentals and hotels. Doing that from the top of my head. But the 1.5 and the 3, very reminiscent of the city of the Chase Freedom Unlimited.
$595 annual fee though.
Well,
there's some space between those numbers.
there's some space between $0 and $595. But Lonnie, you have the $300 hotel credit in City's travel portal. You've got $200 in splurge credit.
You do have the ability to transfer points.
You have the ability to transfer to American Airlines, and I'm grasping at straws.
Yeah, I must say.
I was going to say the Black Lane credit that's semi-annual, but
Ooh, I do like Black Lane, to be completely honest. For y'all that have never booked it, it's actually pretty convenient. But anyway, no. You're between 0 and wherever you're going, and going to transfer points. I have a CSR. My Freedom Unlimited is just feeds my CSR. It just gets points and that gets transferred to my CSR. So
yeah,
at no additional cost. I'm not spitting on Citi, not cussing tonight. We're going to not check that box when we upload this video.
I never do.
If it works for you, it works for you. It's not a card for me. Y'all already know that. So I'm surprised I didn't even bow out on this one. But I will fight against $0 and $5.95 though. Those are not apples and whatever you're going to compare to apples. That's not even a fruit. Apples and Parmesan cheese.
Ooh, now I could use some Parmesan chips. Yeah. I was going to say apples and kumquats. That was
completely two different. It's like apples and ribeye. They're on two different sides of the grocery store.
Man, no one wants some ribeye.
Yeah, I would love a good ribeye. I went to Costco this weekend.
It shows.
I don't care what y'all say. The prices are effing up.
Yep.
Not going to talk about how much the ribeye roast cost. It did not make it to the cart. That's how much it cost.
Could have said somewhere around 110. Ribeye roast?
Well, yeah, you get a bone-in roast because that way, if you want to, you got to remember. Yeah. Well, you already know, Matt. I have a small family, so I don't need a whole roast. So I can cut it in half and cut steaks out of the rest, and then just roast the other half, or just cut it all into steaks. The problem is, it ain't cheap.
Yeah,
kept on walking, kept on moving on that one. Like, we are not eating red meat.
That was a 3-digit right there. I'm willing to bet.
It was up there.
Yep.
The price to meat to person ratio, and my son can't even eat meat unless it's well done, which is just, you might as well just throw it away at that point. Mm-hmm. The math wasn't mathing. We kept on walking.
Oh, that's fair. RJ, have you ever thought of the City Strata Elite as just a bougie Chase Freedom Unlimited?
The City Strata Elite is the bougie Freedom Unlimited. May have to be the title of this episode because it's just that good. So, do I think that Citi copied the Freedom Unlimited like intentionally? No. Do I think that there are similarities? Yes, but there's a lot of cards that you can take and compare and be like, oh yeah, those are the same card, aren't they? There's only so many configurations. Every card like this is going to get dining. Like, it's just going to have that, right? Like, the fact they did 1.5 as the catch-all is nice, right? That is a good thing. Do I think they copied it? No. It is probably a coincidence. It would be very funny if in 5 years, the product manager for the City Strata Elite was like, oh no, I love my Chase Freedom Unlimited. I just wanted to be able to transfer to AA. So I made this card. That would be hilarious. I don't think we're ever going to get that, though.
Oh, that'd be a great story. this is honestly the first time that I realized that the point earning structures on those two cards are so similar. Here's the thing: the Citi
Annual
Strata
fee
Elite.
ain't similar.
Well, yes, I know the annual fee ain't similar. That's why I never thought to put these two cards up against each other. One is a no annual fee card that like is supposed to just pull points out of thin air for Chase, even though like it gets the snot kicked out of it by a 2x earning card. And the other is Citi's newest attempt at getting into a premium lifestyle card, because I don't want to call it a travel card. I really don't. And the reason I don't want to call it a travel card is it doesn't give you anything for travel.
It
Without
does if you
going
use
to
their
cities.
portal.
Yes, without using their portal.
Wait, Amex Platinum? Anyone?
You get 5x on flights direct.
You can do flights at least.
Hotels and flights, but that's also like now the new or current CSR that was a travel card that's also now moved to a lifestyle card.
Excuse me, sir. Are you not the one who on my most recent Amex wish list video put bonus categories on the platinum as your wish list?
It didn't even have to be the holiday season for me to say that. I think I say that like at least once a month that I want bonus categories on the platinum. That's not a wish list. At this point, it's a petition.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The Citi Strata Elite. Why was the Citi Strata Elite a hit? 2 words: American Airlines. That's it. If Citi didn't launch American Airlines as a transfer partner on the same day that they launched the Strata Elite, it would have been deemed a failure. Without American Airlines, that card crashes and burns.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, then, with that logic, Matt, if you're someone like me that doesn't find value in American Airlines, plethora of them, not what I get from the Shell gas station, that is. That means the card also crashes and burns because it's now a niche card to a niche individual.
I think it's largely a niche. I think the Strata Elite is largely a niche card because you can do just as well with the Strata Premier, pair it up with Double Cash, and save $500. You're not going to get lounge access with Priority Pass, and you're not going to get four passes into the American Airlines Admirals Club, but you're going to earn better on everyday categories, and you got the Double Cash giving you back up there. I don't know. In my opinion, American Airlines is why the card is vaunted the way that it was. Relaunching the Prestige, I think, would have been a bigger hit for Citi. Maybe a $6.95 fee, but 5x on dining, 5x on travel. I don't remember what else it had. 1x on everything else, and don't give it the try not to curse the silliness that made the original Prestige so overpowered, because that thing gave you 4th night free on every hotel booking through the travel portal. So people were going ham on that. Not letting it have that probably would have been a more successful card, in my opinion.
I think it's a good card. Do I think it's a great card? No, but I think it's a good card. If you're into what Citi has to offer and you want a premium card for the things that those cards give you, like, they needed an option. I think it's a solid option.
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to say it's a bad card. I'm just saying the launch was mostly dependent on like the launch and the thinking about it now. Without American Airlines, I don't know that it would be like a contender for a top card of the year or something like that.
But if you take the major partner away from Amex or Chase or whoever else, their cards all get weaker too.
Yes.
Yeah. If you take Hyatt and United away from Chase, suddenly their cards are not as good. Okay. But guess what? Citi's got American, Chase has Hyatt and United. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I will agree with that as long as you are a person that's interested in transferring those points out.
Yeah. If you want the part, like, the reason you get into Citi is probably the partners, or you just have 18 of their triple C's, right? Like that's, if you're into Chase, you probably care about at least one of their partners, right? If you're into Amex, you probably care about at least one of their partners. Or like Wells Fargo, you can go cash back with Wells Fargo and do very well. You don't have to care about any of their partners. So I think that's the difference.
Yep. Also, this question wasn't listed, but Juan Miomix asked if I was still parking in diamond spots. And yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I don't do that.
I can't wait to start parking at the Honor Society spots.
Why? Why, Matthew? Why?
Chaos.
Matt
You
doesn't
are
care
a chaos
about,
gremlin.
Matt doesn't care about you or your walk to the door.
Matt is a chaos gremlin. That might be the title now because I can decide it. Matt is a chaos gremlin.
Come on, you like the Strata Premier? The Strata Elite is just a bougie.
I really do.
Freedom Unlimited. Yeah, exactly. So that'll do it for questions. I just threw that last one in there just for S's and G's. So thanks everyone for your questions. Let's move over to the news roundup. The only major piece of news from last week was, well, Mesa blew up, but we covered that extensively in the first question. I don't think there was much of anything else from any of the other issuers. Nothing from Hilton. Hilton has announced that there's going to be an even higher level of status. That would be the Honor Society. That's going to be invite only. Then there's Diamond Reserve, Lifetime Diamond, Diamond, Gold, Silver. Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated?
Them making 4 tiers is not particularly complicated. Every airline has 4 tiers and then the invite only.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to figure out.
But coming to a Hampton Inn near you, Honor Society parking spots.
Just gonna keep rolling my eyes and shaking my head.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing from Marriott, nothing from Amex, nothing from Bank of America. It's the holidays. Nobody's
It's
got
the end of the year. No one should do anything right now except for use your credits.
My channel disagrees.